Hello everyone, my name is Talis, and today I will be presenting my PowerPoint about the African National Congress as well as the National Party. This PowerPoint will be explaining the characteristics of a real leader of the African National Congress that's made some sacrifices and took some heavy decisions for us all, and that's are the decisions that determine the way that we are living in the year 20th century. So I will be explaining the roles. I will be explaining the roles of Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, and I will be explaining the sacrifices made by both parties, National Party and the ANC, and I will be explaining the effect it had on the followers and the country as a whole and the events that took place. So Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa was a very smart, intelligent um, mayor. He was very he had the spirit of being a leader from a very young age. As in the school where he went to, he was the president, apparently, well, according to Qatar. He was the president of the student Christian movement, and this movement was very flexible and effective in the community because it was visiting the poor people and admiring them, um, making sure that they are empathy, they have empathy between one another, sympathy and empathy for for the people that are in that community. Sarah did a lot of things within his positions as a young age, as a developing um, developing future president for our country. He learned about real life issues at a very young age, and he basically had the skill to change that. And he's been doing that over the years. I mean, since his presidency in 2018, he really did. He's trying his best. I can say that. A Codesale speaker in the early 1990s, Ramaphosa was named the ANC-led negotiator. That's when he started elevating and his journey to become president today. During the conversation for the Democratic South Africa, the Codesa negotiation, he invented that to prevent the war. He invented that to have an inclusive country, a developing country, and he 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 was assisted by the National Party. He was assisted by the National Party to become elected as president. That is very proven fact, and established a mutual respect and trust with opponents. Imagine he was able to sit down and have a negotiation for an equal sharing of land and wealth, to be equal economy for everyone, every race, regardless of the gender, regardless of the race, equal opportunity for all. That's all he's been trying to do. That's all the parties has been trying to do. Both parties, actually. The 1992 record of understanding resulted from the process successfully reopening the NC negotiations after Kutesa dissolved. You see, because of conflict and distrust. Kutesa failed and tried again, and it's progress. It's all progress one way. So as you can see, the party was developed, the negotiation was there, and there were some changes. There were sacrifices made. Some affected the trust between the colleagues, some affected himself individually as a person, as a developing president. The sacrifices made by the ANC, uh, I already named some of them, and I don't want to read every point, but the political sacrifices and strategies, compromises, as I was saying earlier, he was all about compromising, understanding both races, both genders, equality for everyone. The Western countries are very developed, are far more developed than our country. So that says a lot about the sacrifices that were made in the early 19th. So these sacrifices were some were good, some were bad. They did affect our country in a very complex way because it literally predicted how we as um, citizens are living, the standard of living in our country right now. I mean, it is developing, but it's not where it should be. We should be far more. I mean, the changes are being made, so I'm hoping for the better from now. So I don't want to come to a point where we ended up migrating and going working overseas just because of our economy. So if it's better, yeah, we welcome more than welcome to stay because that's our family there. So these sacrifices are affecting the schools that our children are going into. So he was all about just opening schools and having schools for every gender, every race, having the same equal healthcare, same job opportunities, same educations, all about equity and sacrifices. Although many other offenders were never prosecuted, this was viewed as a practical step to promote national unity. That's all Serial was all about. And it's been about that and it's still about that. Recently, we went to speak to the United States president to just fix the economy. To just have the same economic advantages and opportunities. The resources should be free in schools. Everyone should have access to the new IT technology, AI access. It is the 20th century. Things are really changing, and Ramaphosa, I hope, is ready for all the changes because it will affect the country's economy in a very broad way, in a very broad way, in a good and a bad way also. The National Party sacrificing the rule of one individual, one vote's approval by accepting equity for all. So the National Party gave up its political hegemony. This changed the revolution since it essentially put an end to white minority rule while paving the way for ANC to win the elections, as I said earlier. Deconstructing apartheid. Sorry about my hat. It's a little bit cozy. It's one of those cold days. I just hope you don't mind me wearing a hat. Um, the loss of authority overgot by the police military, which had previously been used as an instrument of apartheid regulations. Okay? The loss of guard and policemen affected in a very negative manner. Let me just double check the time. Oops. Okay, I'm about to wrap it up real soon, but the current president of South Africa, I feel like President Mr. Ramaphosa is very fit for the position because everything that he did, the Codesa to the negotiations with the Western countries, that's doing moving good, is doing the right thing for us and for our future kids. And I think he's the right person. So this slide will be explaining that the supporters' response is some of them were unhappy, some of them were happy because the Afrikaners felt betrayed after this thing changed the economy. There were promises made, but they didn't fulfill them. There were a lot of changes. So most of them lost supporters basically. They all lost supporters due to apartheid, the market value, the alternative parties. Many NP supporters left the party after the 1994 election and established the Democratic Party, which subsequently became the Democratic Alliance. As you can see, followers local, especially those living in underdeveloped areas, likely frustrated by anything. See, they will change some of, if you get the more the poor, the there's a saying that says those who are poor they will be more poor, those who are rich they will be more rich, will get richer. So I feel like it kinda explains that this type of revolution, it's about economy, wealth. People lost lives in these fights. So Ramaphosa is just trying to prevent killing, the war, the civil war, and all that, and just negotiates and move forward. I feel like the changes that should be made, that they should have made during these times, is just empower the education, put more learning resources, invest more there, because this approach that Mr. Ramaphosa did affected the markets. It created a lot of conflicts within parties, and most of them lost supporters, and that's what they need to become dominant to other parties. So here it is. Sorry for spending so much time, but that's my presentation.